So let's just start with it. You said you got receipts, sir.
Well, what I got here is GPS.
Let me see.
GPS deals. She gave me access to her thing.
Okay.
And it's got places where she spent hours.
I see the time. So she told you she's going to be at different
And
locations?
she's never been to these places before, if you ask her.
Okay.
She doesn't.
But you see from this that she has been there.
Yeah.
And these are up until recent, of August of this year?
Yeah.
These are really recent. Okay.
And then I have some pictures
Okay.
of clothing with some semen on them.
Okay. So, okay.
It's what I believe. She says it's snot.
And this is hers? These are her clothing?
Yeah, yeah.
And this has been put on her clothing?
Yeah.
Okay, so well, listen, the audience at home can't see this, but in-studio reaction tells you everything you need to know, by the way. How long have you two been together?
Up 4 years.
4 years you've been together. Okay. And this is tearing you apart right now.
I'm shocked by that.
Got it. I understand that. I understand that. So when did your suspicions start?
About a month ago, I believe it was.
A month ago.
When I was house sitting
Here you go.
her house, because she had to take a trip.
Okay. And that's when you started finding things.
Yeah.
Okay. Jeff, well, you told our Unlock the Phone investigator that you wanted to know if Cassie is on any dating apps, where Cassie has been going, and if Cassie is communicating with any other men.
Right.
Okay. And if you find out any of that is happening, are you going to leave her?
Well, we're probably, yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, listen, I think it's time to meet Cassie and hear her side of the story. So everyone, please welcome Cassie to the show. Hi, Cassie.
Hi.
I got to ask you, how do you feel about what you just heard?
Oh, I can't even begin how much it is BS.
Okay.
Some of it. I have it proof, and I gave him a 30-day written notice to leave my house because he wouldn't quit. I mean, I talked to him about cheating time and time again over the last years. Oh yeah, I have it. I've had it in writing for a long time.
Okay.
3 years ago, when we were in the middle of making love, and I had my hands up over my head, you know, and I felt paper between the mattresses. I'm like, oh, that's kind of interesting. Well, we finished up, and before I was leaving, and he went outside, I went and I found that piece of paper, and it was a thick letter, and I took it with me. It wasn't right, but I took it, and I didn't say nothing to him. So I was headed home. As soon as I got home, I read it, and he had been doing everything I've been thinking he had been doing. He just wouldn't admit to it. And she sounded like what I would be talking. It was proof, and so I confronted
him. Oh, so it was a letter from another woman that you found?
From another woman, oh yeah. Saying how that he would be with me and then hours later be with her.
Oh, wow. So you would go back and forth between them?
No, no.
Is this year one of you rekindling your relationship?
No, we were supposed to be exclusive for about 5 years now, and for a year he's been living with us. But in the middle of that time, he moved back to go for a job.
Yeah.
And so he went and got his own apartment. And I'd ask him time and time again, are you cheating? I feel like there's somebody else. I feel like, because he's very sexual. He's got a huge libido.
So what do you think of Jeff's evidence? Because he's saying that he found these, has GPS of you saying that you went to these places. He has these clothes that have what looks like semen on them.
Yep.
Like, so.
Well, I can refute the clothes easily. There should be videos on his phone as well of me taking the light that you need to use to show whether it's from sperm or pee or whatever the case may be. And no glowing, not to mention the fact 2 of those things I've only tried on once because somebody I worked with gave me the clothes.
Yeah.
I've never even wore the skirts because I don't like how they look on me. I've tried them on and that's it.
Yes.
I've never ever done anything. I've never been with anybody else but him. I didn't need to be. That was enough.
So he said something about 11 hours. Where were you for 11 hours, though?
I wasn't. I live in a very rural location, which is only 5 cell towers for like a 100-mile radius. I drive by that location, and it pings it.
You're saying that the GPS is pinging these towers as you go home?
There's studies about it, in fact. Yeah.
Okay.
But that's part of it. And another part of it is my daughter and 4 of her friends all use my same Google Music account. And so therefore, they all can be pinged as me out there in the world using my location. And so
it tells on the phone what phones are on that account right there, and it was only hers and mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in your thing, it's because it's cell towers and your daughters use the phone.
Well, that's the truth and where I live at. Because I don't have any.
So can I ask you for the record, have you ever cheated on Jeff?
No, never.
Never?
I've never cheated on any man. I don't do that. I'm loyal.
Okay, then. So,
I was with him this whole time knowing that he had this potential since we were kids. I've known him for a long time. And I thought, honestly, I was special enough to change him. And so that's where it was at. And the sex is rocking, and everything was great. I just thought that he would get what he was needing and never had, and we'd live happily ever after is what I wanted. The two of us together, we rock. And if he could just believe in that, but he just won't. He'd just rather turn on me instead. So I feel like he's projecting is what he's doing.
Are you projecting? I asked you earlier, have you ever cheated on her?
Yes, I have.
You have in the beginning?
Yeah.
In the beginning?
Yeah.
But since that time in the beginning when she found the letter, has there been any other time that you cheated on her?
No.
Oh, that. Why would I have
She'll
given
say-
you a 30-day notice to leave if you hadn't?
Oh,
been?
because I was talking with ex-girlfriend,
They'll
or I
find,
go by
they'll find
and see one.
snapshots on the phones. You'll see.
Snapshots.
Of him talking to him, dating sites, hookup sites. Oh, it wasn't real, but it sure sounded real. My lady goes to work at 10 in the morning. I would love to help you out. And on top of it, the 3 things I asked him to stop doing after giving him a 30-day notice, I wanted him to just straighten up and go forward from there. But 2 days later is when he started accusing me of doing all this stuff instead. He never, ever did anything. And then who does he move back in with? His ex. And he's trying to tell me today he lives on the couch.
So you moved in with your ex? Nothing is happening?
No, nothing.
No.
Nothing
When
at
I met
all.
him, I thought she was his roommate and he had his own room. No, he slept in her bed with her, and that's when I found out they were actually together, not just roommates.
Is that true?
I slept in her bed, but doesn't mean we were doing anything.
Come on now.
We
He
weren't.
lied to me so much I can't even tell you.
So my producer said that he told you about a guy friend, but when you went through his phone, you realized it was actually a woman.
Yes, she's like, hey, I got myself a new toy. Why don't we come over and finish what we started?
Well, listen, I think there's no better time to unlock the phone.
You'll see.
Cassie, we unlocked your phone. Okay,
All right.
here we go. Jeffrey, you want to know if Cassie is on any dating apps. Cassie says she is not. My Unlock the Phone investigator searched her apps and found that she is telling the truth. Jeffrey, you want to know where Cassie has been going. Cassie says to work. My Unlock the Phone investigator searched her GPS and found that she is telling the truth.
So all those are just
Pings.
It's programs.
Pings.
Pings.
They're pings. They're pings.
Wow.
So
I was
what
a
we did is
computer support tech, I
we
know.
looked at the radius of where you're at and found that you're telling the truth. There's only a few amount of
I
cell
have a really
towers,
boring life,
and
actually.
it pings off several times and bounces your ping back and forth.
I told you I had, and I just found this report and told him I could prove it to him, and he still don't want to believe me.
Well, we can tell you we proved it as well, so
Thank
you
you.
have it there.
Finally.
Jeffrey wants to know if Cassie is communicating with any other men. Cassie says she is not. My Unlock the Phone investigator searched her DMs and found she's telling the truth. I will tell you this. When looking through your phone, we did find a lot of evidence that most of your activity from your phone does come from your daughters.
Yep.
Yeah. So most of the things you see on her phone is from her daughters.
Thank you.
How do you feel about that? She's not doing anything.
You have no idea the weight lifted off my shoulders that I can prove something to him.
Yeah. We searched deleted and not, and that's how we also saw that there was things that her daughters use majority of her phone. There's nothing in there that could even make us even suspect that she's doing anything.
I only
She didn't
talked to
bring
4
her other
people.
phone. She has another
Period.
phone.
Yeah, I noticed.
Yeah, I know, huh?
Jeff, we unlocked your phone.
Yeah.
Do you have enough of a card there to show?
Cassie, you want to know if Jeffrey is communicating with other women in his DMs. Jeffrey says he is not. My Unlock the Phone investigator searched his DMs and found he is not telling the truth. My investigator found 97 DMs to other women.
How long is that time?
Can I see the evidence bag that has this in it?
Because he said that since we've been split up, it's been nobody.
Okay, yeah, so let's see what they found.
No, I told you I've been on dating sites, but I've never, ever
Okay, so
hooked up with anyone.
here are some. You look amazing. Where are you from? Thanks. Are you single? About single, how old are you? These are ones asking for sex. Talking about your penis.
It's a nice one, that's why.
Well, here we go. Cassie, you want to know if Jeffrey is on any dating apps. Jeffrey says
Oh,
he's
yeah.
not. My Unlock the Phone investigator searched his apps and found He is not telling the truth. We found the Match.com app on his phone, but also found 11 other dating sites he visited on Wednesday, including dating.com and .com.
He likes the boobies. I got those. See.
You had 20. I didn't even know that was a thing. You had 20 messages on dating.com, and you had 93 messages on .com.
He likes those. You know, that's like I came equipped.
Yeah. So, did you know that he was communicating with women on these dating sites?
No, at this point, nothing will surprise me, and I was hopeful that he hadn't been because I'm stupid. I have hope. I still have hope.
Up. We've been broke up for like 3 months.
Okay. But you're saying you want her back.
Mid-July to August.
And she's telling you that the cheating is one of the things that caused the insecurity and caused the break. So if you're trying to get her back, why would you still be on the sites?
Oh.
And why would you move in with your ex instead of somewhere else?
Well, Cassie, I'll tell you this. You also want to know if Jeffrey is communicating with any of his ex via text. Jeffrey says he is not. I'm going to unlock the phone. Investigators searched his text and found, with that one, he's actually telling the truth.
Except for he lives with one of them. Except for he lives with one.
He lives with one.
And his ex-wife just sent him a text yesterday.
Now, I will tell you this. Unfortunately, we couldn't find any evidence of him communicating and saying things like, I love the sex we had last night or anything to confirm that. So I'm not sure if he's having sex.
There isn't any going on.
From some of the conversations where you are talking about your manhood, where you're showing things, it seems like you were aggressively trying to get sex. Were you? Because it's time to put it out there. If you really want this woman back and you want to prove it to her, I think this is the reason we unlock phones here, so that you can start the first step to transparency.
Right.
So if you really, do you want this woman back?
Yeah.
So let's be transparent now. Tell her, were you trying to find sex?
No. Those dating site things, they don't ever go anywhere. At least not for me.
But
they never
you're
have.
trying to find it.
Correct.
So if one of them said, from your logic, if one of them said, yeah, let's do it, let's meet up right now, would you go? The answer is yes. Your answer is yes.
Sure.
But she's saying to you right now that that is what's breaking you. You think maybe you owe her an apology for it?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for falsely accusing you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Do you believe that you could be faithful to her?
Yep.
Not alone. I think he needs some help.
Okay. If she was open to you two having arrangements where you all were able to play together and enjoy your sex life, is that something you'd want?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if he was open to having that conversation with you off camera, would you be willing to have that conversation?
Yeah, I mean, as sad as it is, I would.
That does not sound sad. Because I think sometimes as we get older, we get locked into different ways we assume. But like, if you really love somebody and you're saying that you love sex, you have a high libido, maybe there's new conversations that could be had. And I think that sometimes as men, you've been saying, there's a fear of like, let me open up sexually. But what you don't realize is that when you can open up honestly about what you're feeling, that's actually going to be more a turn on to her. Because now, am I lying?
No, that's what I told him. I wanted our intimacy to grow elsewhere, and then I was thinking the sex would go to the side and everything would be perfect.
You see, so I'm giving you a tip here. The more you can be honest about what you're feeling versus doing it on the side and being on your computer and chatting with these girls, the more you can say to her like, oh my gosh, I've had this desire. I'm thinking of this. Include her. And I don't mean nothing obsessive because she don't want to hear about this 24/7, okay?
Right.
And I know that as men, sometimes we can get obsessive in that lane.
Right.
But when she's talking to you, open up about it. Talk to her about it. And then she's saying right now she's willing to have a conversation about what sex can look like going forward. Talk to your woman. Say, are you willing to have that conversation?
So you're willing to have that conversation?
You know I am, yes. Absolutely. I don't want to give up on you. Believe me, I wish I could, but I can't. I just cannot for some reason give up on him because I know that he's got so much potential, so many skills, and God gave him more talent, more things than most people get, to start this world with. He just needs to believe it, and he don't believe in himself. And I know it's coming from a place that he didn't mean to happen. He's had a lot of trauma in his life.
Yeah.
He just needs some help to guide it, and I thought I was special enough to make that happen. Well, I can't be a psychologist and his girlfriend, evidently. And
well, that's why
I tried.
I'm glad you came here. She's telling you she loves you. I see how it's making you emotional.
Right.
So I encourage you to be honest with her. Also, you do need to move out your ex's house.
Yeah.
For sure.
I'm going to tell you that right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, because you have a good woman here. Can you make those commitments? Then?
Yes.
I just gave you a big pass, brother. I hope you take it. I hope you take it. You hear me? You hear me? All right. And you're a great woman.
Thank you.
I wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you.
You're welcome.